In the previous class, we had discussed about the water, the uses of water. So now we will discuss about the availability of water. So water, we are using water for different purpose, like for domestic purpose, for farming, for industries, for electricity, for living. So we need all this water. We need water for all these purposes, and it is obtained from different sources. So we are getting water from different sources, like we are getting rain water, we are getting water from rivers and lakes, we are getting water from sea and from the underground also. So now we will discuss about the different sources of the water from which the water is available for us. So rain is the important source of water for us. It is very main source of water for the earth. The water evaporated from the water bodies falls back in the form of rain and snow. So the rain feeds all the water bodies such as glaciers, rivers, ponds and groundwater. So in India, mostly the water needed for farming comes from the rain. So rain is considered as the main source of water. So we get water from rivers and lakes also, because all the time rain is not there. Every day or every time it's not raining. So but the rivers and lakes, these are fed by water coming from glaciers and rain. Most of the water for domestic uses comes from the rivers and the lakes. In some areas of India, rainwater is used for the irrigation. So rainwater, that is also stored and then it is used for irrigation. So next is our sea or ocean. Its water is salty. So since it is salty, it can't be used for domestic or industrial use. So in some countries, the desalination of the sea water is done to produce water for drinking and domestic use. And in some countries, like we are not using, so the desalination of sea water is not done in our country because it is very expensive. But some of the countries, the desalination of sea water is done to produce water for drinking and domestic use. Since it is salty, it can't be used for domestic or industrial use. Next is our groundwater. So it refers to the water present below the ground at certain depth. So the water which is present below the ground at certain depth, that is referred as groundwater, and the level where the water is found, that is called water table. So water which is present below the ground at certain depth, that is called groundwater, and the level where water is found, that is called water table. And the layer of sand and rock which can absorb and can hold the water, that is called an aquifer. So here you can see the water table. Water is stored in underground in cracks and pores. This is our groundwater zone, and this is our water table, means the level where water is found, that is called water level. And from here the water is taken by the plant roots or the soil intake of plant intake of soil water. That means water is taken by the plant roots. And this is the silt or sand or gravel aquifer, means the layer of sand and rock which can absorb and hold the water. So this is our water table. So groundwater has also various uses. Groundwater is used by people where government supply is very poor or it's not available. In rural areas, groundwater is extracted by digging wells and tube wells. At some places, groundwater also comes out in the form of spring or meets a lake. So in India, the availability of water varies from place to place. We get most of our water during the monsoon season. That means from the rain we get most of our waters. So northern states of India, they got a lot of rainfall. So northern states, they are facing a lot of rainfall, and there is very less rainfall in Rajasthan or in the desert areas. So India is also network of rivers which supply water. Few main rivers of India are Brahmaputra, Ganga, Yamuna, Narmada, Tapti. So in monsoon, these rivers get an abundance of water, sometimes resulting in massive floods. So sometimes floods also comes. So in 2013, the northern parts of India, especially Uttarakhand, received lot of rains. You might have remembered that. So these caused flash floods which wiped out villages in the state and caused lot of damage. And the famous Kedarnath shrine was also damaged heavily. You might have remembered remember that news that during that flood the Kedarnath temple that was also damaged very heavily. So to regulate the amount of water and maintain a steady supply, huge dams are constructed. So dams are the large walls or huge walls with openings which can be regulated. So to regulate or to control or to maintain the steady supply of water, the dams are constructed on almost all the major rivers. So these help in the generation of electricity. So dams also help in generation of electricity, and these help to regulate the amount of water and maintain a steady supply. So dams are the huge walls. Dams are the huge walls with openings which can be regulated. The water from the river collects on one side of the wall and is allowed to pass at a steady speed. So this water is also distributed in artificially made tributaries and canals to provide water to different areas. So the dams, it contains, or it is a huge wall with openings which can be regulated. So next is our water shortage. So we are already facing this problem. So need of water is increasing but the supply is limited. So in the parts of our country where water is easily available, people use and waste water without any thoughts of conserving it. So we are also getting very easily water, so we are using the water and wasting more than we are using. So on the other hand, there are places and there are people who do not even get enough water for drinking also. So they have to walk miles to get their daily supply of water. So some of the reasons for increasing water shortage, these are increasing population, so many constructions, industries, agriculture, deforestation. So due to these reasons, the water is becoming a problem for us. That means the availability of water is becoming a problem for us, or the water shortage is taking place. So first is increasing population. So due to the increase in the population or in the number of people is increasing, the requirement of water is also increasing, and people are using lot of groundwater which is lowering the water table. So that is why the water is becoming low for us. That means when the water table is low, we are not getting groundwater easily. So that is why people are using lot of groundwater and lowering the water table at an alarming rate. Next is our construction. So more people means more residential areas we need. So more and more of residential areas are coming up in both rural and urban areas. So lots of water is used up in the construction work. Also the construction of roads and concrete surfaces doesn't allow the rainwater to seep into the ground. So nowadays we are making everywhere concrete or roads. That is because of that the rainwater is not able to go to the ground, or the ground is not able to seep the rainwater. So as a result, the groundwater doesn't got replenished in these areas and the rainwater just flows into the drain. So next is our industries. So more industries are coming up with increasing population. They also use a lot of water. So the used industrial water contains lot of toxic substances and it is allowed to mix with the water bodies and contaminate them. So this should not be done. So when the toxic substance mix with the industrial water and it allowed to go to the water bodies, it harms the water bodies. Like some aquatic organisms are there, so it harms to their lives. Though this has polluted most of the river of India, also is getting polluted. Water is looking very dirty, very polluted because of the industry's toxic substances. Agriculture. So agriculture is increasing population means more food. So this means more farming. So this is in turn means more use of water. So when the rainfall is not enough for farming, groundwater is used for the same purpose. So this is also resulting in lowering the water table. Next is our deforestation. So the roots of trees hold the soil. The soil holds the water. With deforestation, soil erosion takes place on a large scale and results ultimately in the loss of the water. So this is about your availability of water and shortage of water. So now you please read it. Next class we will discuss about the effects of water